The evolving role of beauty pageants in modern society is explored through a 2025 lens, offering a fresh perspective on their historical significance and contemporary relevance. For decades, these spectacles have occupied an uneasy place in feminist discourse. Some view them as relics of objectification, others as platforms of empowerment. Yet in 2025, amid shifting global politics, media revolutions, and post-#MeToo reckonings, pageants have come to represent something far more intricate than the binary of vanity versus virtue. This deep dive unpacks how feminism and pageantry, two forces often positioned as opposites, are, in truth, complex allies and rivals interchangeably shaping each other's narratives. Myth-busting revelation. Busting the biggest myth about feminism and beauty pageants in 2025, they're not always opposing forces. That claim might seem controversial, but history tells a story of unexpected fusion. From suffragette-era protesters mocking early Miss America events to modern queens using their crowns to change climate policy or advocate for gender equality, the link between beauty and empowerment is not just symbolic, it's strategic. Pageants have evolved beyond glitz and ribboned sashes. They've become mirrors reflecting the cultural shifts of womanhood itself. Reimagining the sash beyond the swimsuit competition. The 2025 landscape. Are pageants still a thing? As of 2025, beauty pageants are not only still a thing, they're transforming under the weight of necessity. Once dismissed as outdated or shallow, today's contests have rebranded into global campaigns celebrating advocacy, intelligence, and leadership. From Nigeria to Thailand, the United States to the Philippines, contestants now pitch social impact initiatives rather than parade purely for aesthetics. According to Amica Pageant's 2025 Empowerment Report, most modern competitions prioritize skill building, platform creation, and community leadership over mere physical display. In other words, pageants now market themselves as workshops in public speaking, global diplomacy, and entrepreneurship, a dramatic shift from the 1980s lipstick and heels stereotype. Many organizers even describe pageantry as a soft leadership pipeline, blending glamour with civic responsibility. Feminist critiques. Objectification, then versus now. Yet feminist objection to pageantry has deep roots. Early activists, notably during the 1968 Miss America protests, denounced the contests as cattle auctions, calling out how they reduced women to physical commodities. Those protests crystallized a powerful message. Systemic sexism wasn't confined to offices or politics, it was paraded on national television. Fast forward to the 21st century, and the critiques remain partly valid. Body image pressures persist. Narrow beauty standards aren't entirely extinct. However, feminist scholarship shows that participants' perspectives have evolved dramatically. The 2025 Journal of International Women's Studies paper, Miss USA Meets Feminism, reports that most contestants interviewed identified as feminists themselves, seeing pageantry not as submission to patriarchy, but as self-expression. These contestants argued that their participation allowed them to redefine femininity on their own terms. Confidence, advocacy skills, and leadership visibility were cited as tangible takeaways. Ironically, many of them said outsiders labeled them anti-feminist, even as they used their pageant platforms to discuss gender violence, education, and equity. The unexpected pivot, how pageants started incorporating progressive elements. The turn of the 2010s brought with it social media's democratizing effect and movements like #MeToo. By 2020, pageants could no longer avoid adapting. Organizers began foregrounding purpose-driven segments, platforms on climate change, gender justice, education access, and health advocacy replaced or complemented traditional swimsuit displays. According to Amica Pageant's 2025 guide, competitions began emphasizing metrics such as mentorship impact, skill development, and measurable social outcomes. Pageant finalists are now evaluated partly by the sustainability and reach of their advocacy projects, sometimes requiring 6-month post-event reports. This quiet revolution illustrates how pageants, once symbols of compliance, morphed into vehicles for self-empowerment. Even the term beauty pageant has grown contentious. Many industry insiders prefer impact competition or leadership showcase. The #MeToo era and the pageant reckoning. Post-2017 changes. From swimsuits to impact and advocacy, the year 2017 was a watershed for gender politics. When the #MeToo movement erupted globally, it compelled every female-focused institution, including beauty pageants, to reflect on its legacy of exploitation. Within 2 years, the Miss America organization had eliminated its swimsuit competition entirely, declaring that women shouldn't be judged on physical appearance. But was that enough? Critics argued it was a symbolic move, a surface-level bandage on deeper cultural wounds. Yet there's no denying the ripple effect. The Miss USA pageant, according to Omega Pageant and several mainstream outlets, integrated advocacy challenges that required contestants to present real-world social solutions rather than rehearsed speeches. Miss USA's 2018 live broadcast included survivors openly discussing sexual harassment, marking the first time contestants shared personal #MeToo experiences on national television. Commentators hailed it as a transformative moment for televised femininity, a vulnerability turned into collective strength. Performative or genuine? The post-#MeToo restructuring remains controversial. Some feminist scholars argue that while these tweaks appear progressive, they still root in patriarchal expectations. Authentic empowerment, they contend, should not need to evolve within the same frame that commodified it. Others counter that transformation from within, using the existing platform to reshape its meaning, is itself a feminist act. Like reclaiming a narrative, the act of standing on a historically objectifying stage and redefining its purpose can hold real power. Contestants interviewed in the 2025 Journal of International Women's Studies affirmed that their participation empowered them to own the gaze rather than be owned by it. The Miss Universe transformation. Feminism through ownership. Perhaps the most emblematic pivot came with the Miss Universe organization's 2023 acquisition by Thailand's JKN Global Group under Ann Jakrajutip, a Thai transgender businesswoman and advocate for inclusivity. Her ownership brought symbolic and structural transformation. Under Jakrajutip, Miss Universe became an entirely women-led production, women as hosts, judges, and executives. She described her leadership as a feminist renaissance, even while maintaining controversial elements like the swimsuit segment. Her reasoning? It's about how femininity is presented, not suppressed. In Miss Universe, she said, the swimsuit segment doesn't objectify women. It showcases them. Removing it would make the event dull. It's part of feminine beauty and the essence of feminism. Jakrajutip's nuanced stance sparked debates. Can sensuality be feminist? Can celebration of aesthetic power coexist with empowerment? While scholars remain divided, her inclusive policies allowing transgender participants, mothers, and women of all sizes redefine what a universal woman could mean. Pageantry in 2025, a contradiction or a catalyst? Voices from the stage. Empowerment and motivation. Modern pageant contestants embody this paradox. Interviews with 2020 to 2025 state title holders reveal layered motivations, career development, public speaking skills, scholarship opportunities, and advocacy visibility, beauty, ranking among the least important factors. For many, pageantry serves as a crash course in confidence. Contestants report that public performance, mentorship, and networking transform their self-worth and leadership capacity. Participants emerge with tangible skills: communication, entrepreneurship, and project management, all highly transferable beyond the runway. Critics might scoff at calling a spotlight feminist, but for women historically denied one, occupying visibility itself becomes empowerment. The rise of alternative pageants. As mainstream competitions reform, alternative pageants have flourished across the globe. These events celebrate unconventional beauty, body diversity, and inclusive narratives. From Miss Wheelchair World to Miss Plus World and Transgender Universe, these platforms redefine representation. By 2025, several national contests have even integrated climate and advocacy scoring metrics, rewarding contestants for leading sustainability initiatives. These shifts speak to a generation that no longer equates beauty with symmetry, but with substance. The analog crown now meets digital activism. Contestants live stream their journeys, blending influencer culture with pageant tradition. The result? A hybrid space where contestants aren't merely judged, they co-create public discourse. Pageants and social media, the new power dynamic. While critics question pageantry's relevance in the influencer era, social media has ironically given new life to it. Platforms like TikTok and Instagram democratize exposure. Contestants no longer rely solely on pageant broadcasts for visibility. In some cases, viral interviews or advocacy clips have attracted corporate partnerships or NGO collaborations. The 2025 Omega report observes that contestants increasingly treat their pageant experience as professional branding, a narrative-driven leadership program disguised as a competition. This hybrid role, part activist, part influencer, represents the 21st century evolution of femininity itself. Visible, intentional, strategic. The future of feminism and the crown the next 5 years. Reinvention or irrelevance? The next phase for pageants will determine whether they remain cultural fixtures or fossilized curiosities. Forecasts suggest bifurcation. Highly progressive systems will thrive by integrating advocacy, intersectionality, and digital engagement, while outdated models may fade into cultural irrelevance. Pageants that continue to exclude or narrowly define femininity may lose credibility, whereas those that amplify social missions could become global networking ecosystems for women leaders. Can a problematic institution become a force for good? Transformation is never linear. Beauty pageants were built upon patriarchal scaffolding, and that history cannot be erased, but it can be repurposed. Feminism's strength has always been reclamation of language, identity, and visibility. By transforming the gaze from objectifying to celebratory, pageants can shift from perpetuating stereotypes to challenging them. The practical feminist value lies not in costumes or crowns, but in access and amplification. When contestants use their platforms to mobilize social change, raise awareness about climate action, or fund girls' education, they embody activism through visibility. Complex legacies. What remains? Beauty pageants in 2025 are both artifact and agent, rooted in contradiction yet evolving through dialogue. They represent the duality of modern feminism, resistance and reclamation in the same breath. The Journal of International Women's Studies concludes that contestants themselves are redefining what feminism looks like in practice, not from textbooks but on stage. Meanwhile, organizations like Miss Universe continue blending entertainment with social change under female and LGBTQ leadership, setting precedents for diversity in media culture. As one 2025 Miss USA participant stated, "I didn't join to be looked at. I joined to be heard." That declaration captures the contemporary feminist tension perfectly. The battle isn't over visibility, it's over voice. The legacy of beauty pageants is one of paradoxes, empowerment and exploitation, performance and protest, vanity and vision. But through adaptation, accountability, and feminist reclamation, they have carved a surprising new relevance in the 21st century. Feminism, far from extinguishing them, has forced them to evolve. And in that evolution lies an important truth. Liberation doesn't always mean abolition, it can also mean transformation. In the end, the crown has shifted meaning. It no longer rests simply on the most conventionally beautiful head. It crowns the woman bold enough to redefine what beauty means. If you want more cool historical facts, hit like and subscribe.